I just wanted to take a little time to talk about my favorite RPGs, which might be your favorite RPGs, but let's see. I just wanted to say I am capping out because I'm not listing them by number. I cannot number them because they're all so special and they're also different, and I just love them all equally, and I couldn't pick one over the other. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Although I said I wasn't going to number my favorite RPGs, I just couldn't help but place Dark Cloud 2 at the top of my list. Now, recently I replayed 1 and 2. 1 was very clunky, and I think they did a good job working out all those kinks in 2. The characters are all fun and unique. Funnily enough, the main characters, Max and Monica, are probably my least favorite because they kind of spoiled. They're like rich kids whose parents are dead, which kind of reminds me of Batman anyway. The music is everything you find in a level 5 game, and the graphics are very clean and sharp, which I really love about certain games. There are many scenes that are just breathtaking, like the airship scene. It's just an epic adventure. That's just, I cannot say enough good things about the game. It's kind of surprising to me, however, that other RPGs haven't taken elements from Dark Cloud, such as having to rebuild towns in order to progress in the game, because you do have to build your towns and then go into the future and go into the past, and it sounds complicated, but it's not really. I have my fingers and my toes crossed for Dark Cloud 3, but I'm not holding my breath.
Bravely Default makes my list for the pure immersion you feel when you play it. The graphics are smooth and ethereal, and battles are challenging without being frustrating, as you can change the difficulty at any time.
Usually I'm not one for slow turn-based, but it was nice that you could speed it up and stuff like that.
Not only is it hands down one of the best soundtracks to come out of recent RPGs, but the voice acting puts many games to shame. The characters are all very fun and have ridiculous pantomime personalities. Also, adding the option to choose English or Japanese voice acting is a nice touch that many developers would never entertain.
I'm a little surprised, even at myself, to add Bravely Default to my favorite RPGs list. However, after I had played so many bad RPGs in a row, it was like a real breath of fresh air. What can I say about Mother 3? I mean, it's just the weirdest and coolest game I've probably ever played. I mean, it's like an acid trip, but an acid trip that you can kind of understand. I mean, if I just talk about the plot, you'd be like, what the heck? There's an army of men in pig masks running around trying to modernize the world, while the protagonist, Lucas, is running around pulling pins out of places to try to wake up a dragon, and he gets help from transgendered pixies called Magypsies, and then he gets help from Mr. Saturn's, which what I can only describe as blobfish with a bow in their hair, added to a cast of generally comical baddies like Facade, who is a little obsessed with bananas and honestly chases you through volcanoes and up towers and in sewers. There's tons of really funny allusions to American culture throughout the entire game, which is obviously funny to me because I'm American. All that together just creates a really comical game. It's really an amazing ride. And if it weren't for Dark Cloud 2, I think Mother 3 would probably be my favorite RPG of all time. If there's anything better than an RPG, it's a tactical RPG with rad box art. Now, I know that Fire Emblem usually rules this category, and I've only played up to the Sacred Stones. However, I just think you can't beat a classic. I mean, Shining Force doesn't take itself seriously. I really enjoy all the town interactions you get when, NPCs say silly things at you. And it just doesn't take itself seriously, like me. I found in that Fire Emblem games, it's just progressing and progressing, and you can't really move around too much. There's a little bit more exploration in Shining Force games, which I also enjoy. I kind of have to generalize Harvest Moon games because a lot of the time you do the same thing in every game. I mean, you have your farm, you have your house, you get your dog, you get married, maybe, have kids. I think there's something fun about simulation games that is relaxing, much like Animal Crossing or Disney Magical World, which I've been playing for ages. You can kind of sit back and just enjoy your virtual life. There's not a lot of pressure on you to get a certain score or do anything else, really. You can do whatever you want. It's up to you. Another thing I like about Harvest Moon games is that there seems to be a lot more to do in Harvest Moon games. All the secret stuff that goes on, like the Harvest Goddess, and what you have to do to get her to come out, and what you gotta do to get such and such to marry ya. It's very fun. Those are generally my top RPGs. Of course, you always have so many RPGs that are classics. Like, I mean, what list is complete without a Final Fantasy game? You got Wild Arms, Skies of Arcadia. I'd even put Pokemon in there. I'm gonna leave all of those out for another list, though. Other than that, all of those games hold a special place in my heart. And thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye.